Hey guys, what's up? Out here in Chicago by the beach on beautiful Lake Michigan. It's an awesome day out, a little foggy, but I wanted to use this opportunity because I thought this was a really nice setting to film a video that I've been meaning to film for a while, and it's about breath work. And so the introduction to this video is along these lines. Well, you know, oftentimes in fitness and health, we focus so much on the foods that we're eating and the training process that we're going to, but if we were to slow down for a second and analyze the body systems again from the top down and really just try to understand the body and the way that it works rather than try to stimulate the response that we want, we might actually be able to simulate a better response than if we were just going about it in the other way, right? It's like you always want to reverse engineer your problems. So getting into it now, breath work is something that has been often neglected, but really it's the first level of energy that our body uses, and on the most consistent basis. You can go 3 days without water, you can go 3 weeks without food. You can't really go 3 minutes without oxygen, you know what I mean? Or it becomes very, very tough depending on your, I don't know if you're a scuba diver or not, but regardless, here or there, breath work is simply the acknowledgement of the importance of this nutrient and the quality of the breath that we're taking. There's been tons and tons of studies over the years talking about how, the average breath per minute in America or, in human population has increased. We're getting more and more stressed out. People are becoming less and less cognizant of the way they breathe. And what ends up happening is oftentimes the breath can kind of influence the way that we're feeling. So we feel anxious and we feel down, maybe we feel depressed, whatever it may be, and then the breath kind of continues that. So if we're depressed, we're not breathing deeply, we're not energizing our bodies, and we feel, lack of energy, lack of drive, when these things can really be easily mitigated especially if we want to be strategic about the energy or the way in which we want to lead the present moment. So continuing on that notion, breathwork is, it's not a new concept by any means. In fact, many different cultures many different cultures have included breathwork as an important part of yoga practices, qigong, meditation, mindfulness, even martial arts will obviously acknowledge the importance of breath, and in exercise and powerlifting it's obviously very, very important. Some of the exercises that I want to share with you specifically today, I'm going to show you two little places to start. Obviously the first place that we want to begin is with just being cognizant of breath, but beyond that there's some yogic techniques that we can use and some science that we can pull from to really look at the way that we should breathe and maybe go out about it in a little bit more of a systematic, attacking way fashion. So first of all, I want to introduce to you that these are not old concepts. I actually remember when I was young, my grandfather used to use many of these breathing techniques when he used to wake up. So, they're great exercises if you want energy in the morning. I actually went through a period 2 years ago where I completely stopped drinking coffee and I just focused on breath work in the morning. And let me tell you, I wish I would be on it right now. I'm a little bit on the caffeine train at the moment, but I had great energy and I really didn't see caffeine as a need anymore. And I was energized and feeling great. So the first exercise or the first concept that I kind of want to share with you as far as breath work is concerned is just a way that you can breathe during exercise, your day-to-day life, and a little bit of the science behind breath and why we want to maybe breathe deeply. So in the first place, breathing deeply is a great place to begin. So often the place that we breathe is very shallow in this day and age, whether to do with our posture, whether to do that we're just not cognitively using the muscles in our stomach. But really the diaphragm and all those deep muscles, I have a little bit of experience from it with band. Any singers will tell you, if you want to produce good sound, if you want to have a voice that projects, you have to, move from the stomach, not from moving from the throat. So that's kind of where the idea of deep breathing comes in, but much more scientific than that. There's a concept, well, not a concept, it's the fact of the matter is, in our lungs, the oxygen alveoli in the top of the lungs, forget the name, the oxygen receptors in the lungs, is it brachii? Forget the name, but regardless, I'll put the right name here. But these oxygen receptors get more and more dense as we get deeper and deeper into the lungs. So once we get deeper and deeper to the lungs, if we can start breathing from that place and recruiting more capacity of our lungs, we'll actually be able to oxygenate the body with less effort and less frequent breaths and just really high quality breaths. So that's something to note about the quality of breath. Now, as far as actual performance, one way that you might be able to find that you'll be able to breathe deeper, I picked up quite a few breathing techniques from Elliot Hulse, as well as Tro Casey, Certified Health Nut on Instagram. Both have some great insights on breathing. I kind of want to take those ideas and some of my own, and a lot of different yogic ideas and different fitness ideas that I've read over time. But there was one technique, I forget who introduced it to me, but his proponent was breathing, his claim was breathing through the nose was more efficient. He was the trainer of, I believe, Henry Cavill on Superman. He's done a lot of Hollywood actors training and stuff like that. But the basic idea, the point is not to just, give this guy ultimate credibility, obviously, but rather to take the key concept of what he was kind of saying and then move it in a different direction. So what we want to do with that, sorry, there's a bee following me around right now, but all right, he's gone. So the key concept that we want to take away from his deep breathing technique is such. The reason that he prescribes deep nasal breathing is obviously because of the deep breath work that I described earlier. But second more, when we're breathing from the nose, we can't let those muscles in our stomach go. So if we're forcing to just breathe through our nose and closing our mouth, if you want to breathe out in not a slow way, you'll notice that you actually have to use your stomach and those muscles to pump air in and out of your lungs. And it's a very different sensation than if you were just swallowing air and letting it fall back out again. And that breathing technique will, number one, allow you to breathe deeper, but number two, activate those muscles in your deep abdominal wall, your diaphragm, for exercise that you're doing and for continued oxygen replenishment throughout the exercise. Because getting in the habit, right? So that way you can use those muscles better and reoxygenate while you're exercising, in between sets, in between rests. Hugely beneficial. I have found my endurance when I'm running. I love running just through my nose. It's just, I find it way better. Maybe it's a placebo effect. Take it with a grain of salt. What I will tell you is that